I've been on calls all day. Made a few arrests. Wrote a lot of tickets, but yeah. Sorry about the late time. Little later than normal. Um, it's a Saturday. People are wilding out. So sheriff had a few extra hours he had to work. Yeah, we're here. And my God, I hope maybe a few got to catch the video that I just posted the link to in the community page. But I'm just everything that I was remembering that I was going to talk about for this week just went right out the door with that, and I'm like, this can't be real. So we'll get into it, but first let's see who's here and maybe you guys will and talk with you. Oh. James, what's up? Dano. How are we, fellas? How are we doing? Yeah. What a week. What a very, very aggravating week. Just kind of running all over. I had to book a few of them today, James. It's just, it is what it is. I mean, had some guy with a fella I know, like his wife. My daughter was doing like they do this big dance called Sweetheart. I don't know if they do that where you guys are from. Kind of like prom, but like mid-year version of it. And my daughter won queen for that. So like a bunch of parents, normally when people would leave me alone, they had to come up and introduce themselves and say hi and this and that. Same way with my wife, and one of her friends had another girl I guess my wife went to school with. Maybe they're friends, I don't really know. But she's like, my husband does what you do. Okay, I hear that a lot. So he did end up hollering at me, and I just went and gave him a hand the other day, and I thought I let him use a set of my loppers, and I thought he didn't give them back, and I'm like, so I call him, and he said that he did. Maybe they're loose in my truck. I don't know. We'll find out. Um, who's getting the felonies? I I think nowadays it's probably not illegal to discuss or to. I'll get into it. Like, there's definitely some tickets that have to be wrote. I don't know if there'll be any jail time specifically, but if he doesn't just give in and like befriend me, he's probably going to jail before it's all said and done. He should know this by now. Um, Who did I see there? How you been, Dano? I know you've been busy, brother. Been really busy. So, you know what? It pisses me off. They're demonetized in the first few minutes. You know what just grinds my gears is that he won't acknowledge me. I should be not acknowledging you. Shouldn't be the other way around. Like, but I think he may have blocked me and hid my comments or something because like then I leave the nicest comments and he does not respond. He responds to everybody else. So I think at least a ticket's in order for just being a jerk. Um, I'm trying to extend the olive branch. Maybe I've poked a little fun, but I'm trying to be nice now. Trying to change my ways. But I think I want to change right back because now I'm mad. William, what's up, brother? You have to be, ground pounder. When you're holding down the law, you have to be. We can get into. I really whiffed it this week for the news because like his video just made me lose my mind. That video, legit, I was like, this is not real. Listen to this. To the point that I've never done this. I downloaded his video because I thought he was going to take it off. and like delete it after he uploaded it. And I'm like, oh shoot. So I don't have, just a heads up, I don't have a whole lot for this week. So if anybody gets on here and they have like techniques or something they want to discuss, let me know. I'm totally down. So first, I think the first one I probably stumbled onto. Yeah, probably second degree, James. That sounds about right. I mean, I don't want to do him too dirty, but I feel like, yeah. GP walks all the time. Right on. Working on cars just as much as cutting. Life is good. Oh, right on. Dude, I am the worst at working on cars. I do some stuff, but like, I'm just not that guy. I get too easily aggravated, and I'm like, I'll just get my chainsaw and cut this off. It's usually the answer. Or I'll get my axe and break this off. So we're talking cars. Let's talk about our dude J03 306. Jay's 39 coupe is looking just, oh, so you know what Jay does. So I cannot wait to see that car when it's finished. Homie is working hard on it. So he also fell a few froze trees last week. I don't know if I got a chance to discuss that. So kind of wanted to talk about, at least bring that up. So Jay shows a lot of stuff. Check out his channel. That's J306. But man, he does a lot of stuff. He's just, he's so good at so many things. I am very limited. But our guy Jay is just, he just does everything, I feel like you could just ask him and he would know about it. So all about that OG life. You know what? And if we're holding on the law, there has to be an OG law. I thought about this before I came on too, Ground Pounder. It's so funny you put that. I legit have OG wrote down on my pad here for a couple of them. So I think there's a level when you hit the OG level that you get away with stuff. Like I feel like if a 60-year-old man runs a stop sign, I'm 60. I'm not far from that. I need to chew. 80-year-old man runs a stop sign. Like, he don't get a ticket. Like, come on, as long as he didn't hit nobody or cause no accident, he don't get no ticket. He's done too much, lived too long, made it through too many situations in life to end up getting a ticket right now. That's why I feel like there's got to be an age. You shouldn't even be able to go to jail. You should just be able to be as wild and ignorant as you want. And, because you should be old enough that you're, like, physically not able to, like, do things to people, like, physically fight a person. So it's not like your physical, like, threat. So I just know I'm getting close to being old and I'm trying to change the rules before I get there. That way maybe I can be a little more ignorant and get away with it as I get older. But yeah, that's what it is. So loving the Stitch Hitch. Real 2%er. Ground Pounder. Ground Pounder has been hunting it up. It looks like. Are you hunting? Or are you out there just scouting? I've seen seen the videos and tried to catch, like, it'll say you're live at the top of my phone, and then when I get there, it's already done. So I've made that mistake before, and I start talking and leaving comments, and it doesn't make any sense when the person reads it back later. No. All right, but check out Ground Pounder's channel. He does put out tree work. He just doesn't seem to like making videos all that much. It's aggravating. So I don't blame you, but I wish you'd maybe just throw a couple out every once in a while just to keep us in the loop. But yeah. Also, Dano, check out Dano's channel. Really good tree content. He's just been busy. and I'm sure there'll be content coming up soon, some new videos and stuff. So definitely check out Dano Tree Works. Veterans Tree Service this week. I think they put out one at the beginning of the week. I think it was probably just pretty typical for them as far as their content goes. I don't really remember it. But like I said, the rampant homosexuality that's going on in the chainsaw cult video blew my mind, and I like can't even. You guys don't understand. If you didn't watch that video, the dude was the guy was contacted by the Chinese embassy, and they contacted him because they wanted to know about his sexuality. So I'm gonna get into that. I got a couple more here to get through before I get to that, but just know that's we gotta talk. That we have to talk about that. That I'm not okay with any of it. I think it's all very weird, but I'll make sure we have. Oh yeah, I forgot about this too. I gotta do. Yeah, I got something else over here for you guys too that I talked about in the live feed last week. But is Billy here? I didn't even see him. Yeah, I don't know if Billy's here. He probably just doing something. It's really close to Thanksgiving. I know some people were like eating Thanksgiving. My cousin was, and when I talked to him, and I was like, "What the hell is today Thanksgiving?" Because sometimes I forget stuff. You know, you get on patrol and time just goes on. You're shining your gun, wiping your gun off, and eating donuts, like buffing your badge to make sure it's good and shiny. Before you know it, you miss Thanksgiving. So, just kind of the stuff you deal with when you're holding the law down. So Veterans just put one out, and I was watching it right. I didn't get to see the very end of it, but Homeboy has been in a lot of pickles where he just seems to just have great luck. Um, he had a top set still, and he cut his hinge off, and it fell in what looked like fell into his lap, but I don't think it quite fell into his lap. But yeah, that was scary. But he's also working in the rain, which probably made everything more difficult. It seems like everybody's working in the rain these days. I don't know. Oh, Dan K's here. What's up, brother? Right on, Grandpa. Just go outside and shoot the tree with your gun. Or, like, shoot dead branches out of it. That would be sick. Um, I can't discharge my weapon all that much because you gotta write a report and all that stuff. Like, I wish I could just shoot people just when they aggravate me. A lot of road rage would happen. That's probably why I should never be armed. What am I talking about? Every cop has a weapon. But Peter Shea is also one of our dudes from our crew here. Peter's the man. Really good tree guy. He is not a fan of palm trees, which is hilarious to me because I could see where those things would suck. Yeah, I don't know about palm trees. They just look like aggravation to me. So, not the biggest fan. And I seen that it was really strange. We had the discussion about palm trees and trimming on them, and I brought up the topic of always using SRT when you're doing them because you're able to move no matter what. And then I watched a guy who I don't include him on the news because mainly his stuff these days is just like he talks about techniques and discusses stuff, and that's Bino. He's an OG, so he gets a pass no matter what he does. He's an OG. He's been doing it for a long time. He's earned my respect because if you can continue to grind for that long and make videos, more power to you. Most of the people that I give that respect to, their channels have grown much quicker than mine, but like I appreciate it that much more because mine has been such a slow growth that um, at times you don't even want to make videos anymore. It's like this sucks. I'm not doing this no more. Um, yeah, ground pounder. Like I don't know about them palms. Like, and I seen Bino. What I was talking about is where I said trying to use double rope, and he said they use a technique where they go over the top. They throw a rope, and like I showed you guys to put a remote rigging point with like a pulley up into a tree. They do something like that, and then they climb DRT. The issue with that, in my opinion, is that those palms have those spikes. So if one of those spikes was to get over and get a hold of your rope, you're on a moving rope system. That rope needs to move freely for you to get down safely. It, if you use SRT, that is the only way that if that palm hits the rope and stops it and keeps it from moving, the SRT is the only way that's guaranteed that you're still going to be able to move. Because I think the branches as they come down, they have these like little razor hooks on the back of them, and they're almost like hooks. So if that was to catch your rope, I would think it would keep your rope from being able to, one arm's moving, the other one's losing and moving height. Like I just don't see it being that possible. Even if you have a remote tie-in point, I still don't see that being possible. And I really don't understand why someone would DRT rope walk up. Period. So, um, I'm beat, guys. I've got to change. Then you see you in the morning before I roll out. Right on, Dano. Well, hey, thanks for hanging in there, brother, and stopping by. Guys, go check out Dano's channel when we get done here. Have a good one, Dan. Oh, let's see. So veterans, yeah, they's working in the rain. Man, everybody seemed like he was working in the rain this week for veterans. But Peter also did an in-depth crane video, and I only got to see a few minutes of that, so I still got to check that out. But that's one area that I think Peter is amazing, and it's probably like you got to include him up here on that part because like he is very skilled at his crane work. So definitely check him out. He does a lot of tree work, different kinds. Like there's rigging jobs, there's falling jobs, there's crane jobs. Like you don't get usually don't like me. You don't get crane jobs from me. So um, that's just is what it is. I just always feel like I can do things without it, but and people refuse to pay it. So you know how it is. But yeah, definitely check out Peter's channel. That's Peter Shea. Shea is spelled Shea. Check him out. Jeff Schroeder, um, still selling axes. Put out a video with where he's falling, maybe falling a tree. They're betting. I didn't get to see it. I know he put it out. Definitely check Jeff's channel out. Ura Arb. That is our dude Daryl. I don't know if Daryl is a subscriber anymore or not, or if he watches the content anymore or not. Because I haven't heard from him in quite a while. But check his channel out. It's like OHH, Ra, RAHH, Arb. And I think he's a military dude, so that's the reason for the name change. But he did river birch tree work. He always finds himself in some pretty cool spots. His tree work's always it's always different. And he seems to be a pretty bright fella who thinks things in depth. Um, he's the one that gave me the little extendable grapple hook thing. That's I guess not a grapple hook, but the extendable hook, and it goes like 20 foot. It's a really sick little tool that you can hook it onto your belt. But yeah, trees. One of my favorite channels on YouTube. Hasn't put out a bunch of tree work footage here lately, so kind of bummed about that. But he did put a video out. I guess he's been trying to get himself a sailboat. He must have finally got himself a sailboat, and he's so mechanically inclined. As he walked us through the sailboat to show it, He was very detailed, said things that I don't even know what he was talking about. But then he got down in the engine room and was so stoked about this engine room, and that's the last place I would want to be. So that trips me out. I'm not a mechanic guy, so um, August was working in the rain, um, doing some. I think he did a live feed. I caught a few minutes of a live feed. Then I seen that live feed being recorded in the video that he just put out. So yeah, yeah. August is an OG. Like I can't. Even if he was to do something crazy, I gotta respect it, and like he's earned my respect, though, despite any personal thing that I have. Just seems like a pretty good feller. It's just I don't know. Maybe it's envy on my part. So, um, but no matter what, OG. So he's and he's still climbing and climbing at a very high level still, which I'm inspired by, stoked by that. So there was another channel that put out some stuff. I'm not talking about it no more. It's just a channel that really puts any and everything up, like desperate for like silly attention. I don't know. I that part I don't know. I've never seen anybody come into the tree industry part of YouTube and play it this way. Or maybe I have and I just are not I'm not like making the reference, but it's each their own. This week I'm not even gonna say anything. But Reg put out a video and I was really stoked. Ah, Squirrely John, what's up, brother? We're getting ready to get into some just mind melting stuff. So Reg put out a video of the Grapple hook demo, that notch grapple hook that he came up with, which is such a genius idea. It's basically a handsaw, but without a blade. This part is thick metal, this part's thick metal. Right here, it folds out, and then it has a little hook right here. So you just take it, it's got a tether, it hangs off here. It's hollow right here, so you can clip into it, store it on your saddle. Doesn't catch anything, but has this little tether hanging off, or you can take the bolt out and put your sonai directly onto it. But I would like, I wouldn't want it fixed to a rope. I want to be able to use it on any rope. So I would leave it on the tether, and I like the tether gives a bending point, flexing point for retrieving it and getting to flick and stuff. So the way it works, it folds out. You got a little hook here. You just throw it up over the branch. As it goes over the branch, it hooks on. And like as you pull on this tether part, it really, really sinks it in there. So such a smart idea, and a perfect way to simplify the big gaudy grapple hook. So looks very, very light. I would imagine it does still have some weight to it though, because you want weight with a grapple hook. There's a point where you don't want it to be too light because then you're having issues getting it to travel a distance. So Reg put out his video, and my God, that dude is so good with that grapple hook. He was like hitting branches from like 30 foot away, throwing like horizontal from him, like in just face level. So, and then showed some transfers, how to use it. Just I would I dig that. I would like to have that. That's one device that's came out here recently that I'm stoked on and I would like to have. So that's one thing maybe one day I can get into, maybe get that grapple hook. I would like to have it and use it. I've made my own grapple hook, but it's very limited because of how small the hook is. It's got to be very small stuff. And with it, it's almost a little too heavy. So, but yeah, check out Reg if you're watching my stuff. You've watched Reg already. So, but also as far as devices, Buckingham has came out with that device. I'm seeing it kind of pop up in my feed. So the Buckingham device is very similar to the Akimbo, I think, and is just, in my opinion, a rip-off of the Akimbo. Maybe they do a couple things with it that make it better. Maybe it's worse. I don't know. by the looks of it, looks like a different version of the akimbo, but I really do like Buckingham. Um, but we'll see. We'll kind of see how that plays out. Another one that maybe I'd be kind of interested in. I instantly like it better because it's a black device as opposed to that bright blue of the akimbo, and maybe I've just seen it so many times with so many people that I'm like, I don't know. I think I just like the black better if I'm just being honest. Squirrely John said, "Happy Turkey Day." Yeah, you too, brother. The throttle, is that what it's called? Huh. That's cool. Oh, and then I have a question. I actually have two questions before we get into the ending section of this. Um, do you guys want me to do like intros before the videos where I'm gearing up and explain why I take what I take? And because I thought about that and I'm like, damn, I don't do that at all. And I'm sure some people would like to see that. And like, I mean, if the desire to see it's there, I'm down to record it. But if it's not, it's just a very repetitive part of my process that it's like I find it so uninteresting that I've avoided showing it and recording it. But you know, I want to kind of mix it up a little bit. So you guys let me know. I'm out of steam. Time to hit the sheets. Till next week. Oh, right on, John. Well, have a good one, brother. So let me know. Let me know in the comments. Do you want to see more of an in-depth beginning to them, like the way up? Like I could focus more and show all that, you know, what I use, why I use it, and sometimes every once in a while it kind of changes. So maybe if we were including that, that would show up on occasions. But we'll just, you guys let me know. I don't want to. It's not like a decision we gotta like. I need to know now. But also Monday, I have this situation where someone's asking me to do two trees. Okay, they owe me a large sum of money that they've never paid. They've paid a few bucks on it. Um, well, no, let's be more specific. They've paid 20% of it in 5, 6 years, 4, 5, 6 years, something like that. So they've paid 20% of it in that amount of time. They've never physically just paid some on it. It's always, I need to do something for you, and then I force you to pay some on the debt too. So that he's asking me, will I go help him? So I'm gonna go. I'm gonna look at this. And do you want to see what goes down in those situations? Like, do I pull up there, look at it, realize it's far too much, and you're trying to cheat me, and you guys want to see all that stuff? Because I'm down to record. Like, I'll show the whole process, the conversation, like, I don't care. But and I don't think I've ever seen that with a tree channel. So think about that too. I have that coming up. If it's something you guys want to see, I'm down to record it. So I got a feeling that he's saying I'm gonna give you some money I owe you, and I'll pay you this if you'll go knock these down, kind of situation. And I feel like he's shortchanging me probably on what needs to be taken down so that he can say he's given me more on what he owes. If that makes any sense. But that's an option. Dan says yeah, right on. Yeah, we'll see. Let me know. You guys let me know. It could be very, very entertaining and very awkward. So because I've dealt with this debt being there for 4 years. My opinion of the person has really depleted, and so I don't really have the utmost respect like I would for anyone else. So it's there. You guys let me know. Chris, what's going on, brother? How are you? Let's do this, guys. Damn it, I need a badge. I wish I had a badge to put on. I don't have a badge though. You know what? Hang on. Okay. My bad. I was wrong. Okay. What's up, Eric? How are you, brother? How you been? Okay. Now, let's just do. I'm gonna light a cigarette. I hate smoking on stream, but it is what it is. This just literally blew my mind, and I didn't know what to do. I swear to you, I have never downloaded someone's YouTube video, but I was so scared that he had posted this video and would realize how absolutely ignorant it was to post that he would take it down. But I don't think he has. I think it's still up. And it's absolutely mind-blowing to me of the things that he thinks. So, let's just... Okay, here's how it went. I get onto my phone. His big mug is mashed up in that screen. And, of course, he's showing it from underneath his second... I don't even know if he has a chin. Somewhere underneath here. Let's just... First of all, everything I say is solely my opinion. He even says, it's okay for you to have an opinion. But what you can't do is this, this, and this. He is now absolutely locked in. Everyone's getting sued. Everyone's getting sued. If you're in the chainsaw cult and you messed up, you better get an attorney. Because everyone's going to give him money. That's all he wants anyway. He wants everyone's money. Because there's no other reason to do this other than for money. And a man would not, a normal man would say, like, you have an issue with me and you messed with me, I'll catch you eventually, I'll handle you. But someone who's been lucky enough to literally fall in manure and come out still smelling like a rose like himself has this cockiness about them and this absolute arrogance that they think everything they say is the law, and that even the law isn't on their level. So he managed to somehow beat the feds in a case, which he was awarded, I believe, a lot of money. So, respect. I don't like that you got one over on my fellow officers, but, it is what it is. I personally didn't deal with him during this time. It was a different department, so I would have booked him right then and just thrown him in jail. But was me. So it's been 2 years since he said he was going to sue everybody in this chainsaw cult. He hasn't really said much about it. And now out of the blue, he's on fire again. What it is a lot of these tree guys, like, and I would, if I was to give anybody else who makes content on YouTube a little bit of advice, I would say, thicken up your skin during the winter months, because a lot of guys that are very active throughout the summer and spring and seasonal workers have a lot of extra time on their hands. They're beginning to feel insecure because they're not out doing what they normally do, and they can't really do anything to someone in person. So it's just much easier to be a troll or be mean to somebody on the internet. So just understand that like seasonal depression is a real thing, and I think a lot of guys when they get in those moods just search YouTube to tell someone else how stupid they are, how dumb they are, and how they're doing everything wrong. So I don't even know why I just went off on that rant. But yeah, he's suing everybody. I don't. What am I talking about? Um, I got on my phone. I don't even know how to start this. This is what's ridiculous. I don't know how to start this. I feel like I'm gonna not do a good enough job explaining all this. But there's a video on my phone. It says something about the chainsaw cult and rampant homosexuality. And I was like, what the heck? And it's got his big old mug, and there's no reason I should be able to like tell you how many nose hairs you got in your nostrils. So I just don't know if it's really difficult to hold his arm at a normal height, and he just lays it. I feel like he just lays it on his belly or something because it's very lazy recording. But he can do whatever he wants. That's his channel. It's I need to start recording like that because I feel like his channel's grown way bigger than mine. But I have to remember that people love to see a car crash, and I feel like that's where a lot of the subscribers are coming from. But there's a lot of people that back him. They're all for him. So he sells replica chainsaws. It doesn't seem like all that bad of a guy. I feel like he does try to pretend like he knows things that he does not know. That's where he gets in trouble with me, is because I have a pretty good bullshit detector. And I I see it every time. If you remember in a live feed that we did just recently, he went to a dealership, and at this dealership, he was saying that he was there because this is his local dealer. He buys a bunch of parts, blah, 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 blah. That was not the reason. It was because the guy he was talking to is actually in charge of the Reddit page or the forum where he's being made fun of. So he traveled there to talk to this guy because he got made fun of, and people were saying that they think he's a swindler. I think is the exact words that he used. But he lies on the video and says he's there because that's his local and he's just checking for some parts and this and that. And I could tell that he was lying. So I told you in the video, I feel like he's there price checking. There's another reason why he's there. That's not true. But he wanted to document it for some reason, which I found very, very weird. And if he would just be a straight up person, I think he'd probably be a pretty good guy. He's harmless. Like, I don't think he could fight his way out of a wet paper bag. He's a little weird, but I mean, that is what it is. I'm weird too. So he puts this video out, and I'll just try to reenact. Now remember, this is all satire. Nothing I say is the absolute truth. This is all in fun. I'm only giving my opinion, and your feelings should never be hurt by another man to the point that it gets to you that bad. But he starts the video out and says, guys, you're not going to believe this, but I just received a phone call from the Chinese embassy. And I'm like, what the heck? Well, he just recently went to China to go to the factories where he has his saws made and talk with them. Maybe, according to him, he was dialing everything in to make sure he's producing the most top quality Chinese replica chainsaw in the world. That may be true. That may be true. I don't really know. Replica chainsaws is not my thing. I personally am not a fan. But doesn't mean that I just don't care. I just don't care. But he said a man says, "Is this Mr. Steve?" And he's like, "I'm gonna do a Chinese accent," and I can't even do it because I feel like it's disrespectful. It's kind of a bit racist a little bit, but I feel like maybe it wasn't when he did it, but if I do it right now, I feel like it's gonna be racist. So I'm not doing it. So Mr. Steve, this is the Chinese embassy. We are contacting you because we are thinking to revoke your visa due to your homosexuality. And I'm like, what the hell is? I like stopped the video, looked up at my wife. I'm like, so what are you watching? I don't even know right now. Hang on, I hit play. Yes, Mr. Steve. We were contacted by Randy Evans, and Randy was to inform us of your homosexuality. He would like to know if you like your homosexuality by mouth or anal. And I'm like, what are you talking about, dude? At that second right there, I'm like, this is a prank phone call. Here's the issue. Mr. Steve is so locked in with China that he thinks he can't be duped. No one could possibly trick him. Especially if you're talking about anything coming from China. Because he's got a very, very, very strong fascination with China. To each their own. Like, whatever. I like gorgeous women. Like, I get it, dude. Like, whatever. But when the guy that is supposed to be an officer at the Chinese embassy asks you how you prefer to have your homosexuality, oral or anally, it's a joke. It's a prank phone call. He doesn't get it. He says, well, Mr. And listen to this. The guy's name is Mr. Wang. Wang. Are you guys, is anybody else catching on here right now? Because at this point, I am utterly convinced, 99.99999%, this is a prank phone call. And I was able to come to this conclusion a couple seconds into him talking. He sat on the phone with this man for a very long time and never crossed his mind. I'm not kidding. Like, I just watch the video. This blew my mind so much. I've been on YouTube for a very long time. I think I've been making videos almost 10 years. I've never downloaded anyone's video. But I was like, I'm going to be one of them people that has the video when he pulls it down, because I don't think people are going to believe me. If I tried to talk about this and this video didn't exist, you guys are just going to think I'm weird. So I downloaded it instantly. First time I've ever done that. And then he kept it up. Then he did another video on it. So, like, I think you could go to his channel and give him the views. Like, you can if you want. James, ticket. Like, dude, I'm going straight cuffs for being a ding dong. Go to jail. That's it. Like, what are you doing? You think the Chinese embassy it just randomly calls people, like, and says, yo, you're gay or you're a homo, you can't come here? We're taking your visa away? I don't know. Then maybe. I don't think so, though. I don't know nothing about China. Like, I know a lot of stuff's made there, and that's it. So, I don't know. Mr. Wang continues to talk to him, and that's where, like, I thought I was going to remember, like, everything. So I didn't write a lot of, like, normally I have pages and pages of notes. Look, I got like that. That's how unprepared I am. And I'm like, dude, you'll start talking about it, you'll talk for hours about it. But I probably should have took some more notes. But the thing about it is, he says, yes, Mr. Steve. The problem is it's always Mr. Steve. Everybody calls him Mr. Steve. He doesn't even have a last name. His name's Mr. Steve, which is pretty crazy, but I mean, that's pretty cool. Just don't drop the bar of soap in the shower, man. I, I question. Well, if what China's saying about him is true, he may not have an issue with that. He may be like, oh yes, like let's go. So I'm like, dude, you can't be serious. You legit think an officer from the Chinese embassy is calling you, asking you about your homosexuality, and he's gonna revoke your passport? That's where he has to have like this thought in his brain that he knows so much more about China than anyone else that he can't be wrong. And I'm like, dude, you have to see this as a prank phone call. And he doesn't. He doesn't think it's a. He's saying, what's up, veteran? What's up, brother? Dude, you want to see something? No. If you want to see something, anybody who questions what I'm saying right now, in my community page, I put the link to this video. So if you want to see it, go click it afterwards. But China is now calling him saying we're going to revoke your passport because Randy Evans says that you're very strongly into homosexuality. And I'm like, I don't know about this one, man. I think it's a prank phone call. I put a comment. I said, hey, man, you sure it's not a prank phone call? I'm just trying to be nice. He ignored me. I told you how I hate being ignored. He keeps ignoring me. So now I don't care. Now I think it's funny. So during their conversation, he informs Mr. Wang, who is calling him about his homosexuality. Videos. I know, Eric. I know it's still up. My mind is blown. I think he blocked me, dude. I'm dead serious. I think he's totally blocked me. So he's not seeing all these nice comments because I'm trying to be a nice guy. I'm trying to befriend him now. And he's just not having it. Like, he said no. So I think I'm going to have to make a different account to become his friend. But I will. I'll break him down eventually. We'll be buddies. But, I don't know if I want to be his buddy. I don't know. We'll see. But apparently, Mr. Wang wants to know about his relationship with Enjawa. And I'm like, I question that stuff too. Like, no two men should be in an unlit shed talking about reach arounds. That's just my own personal opinion. Unless you like that kind of thing, do your thing. But for you to think that China is now wrong, you kind of left. Here's the other thing. He went to China. They all met him. And when they met him, they hung out. He was there for months. And now they think he's gay? I don't know. So, I think that's kind of weird that he believes it. And I'm sure maybe eventually he'll check my channel again. And I'm telling you, Steve, that was a prank phone call, brother. You got pranked. China is not trying to revoke your visa over hearing about you doing something homosexual. Even if you do, I don't think they would call you and revoke your visa over that. I'm not the brightest, crown in the box, the smartest tool in the shed, but I just don't know. Like, he spent all of his time after talking about this conversation repeatedly looking into the camera, making it clear as he could, repeatedly, about how he's not a homosexual. I am absolutely 100% not I'm not even, he says, I'm not even curious. I'm like, okay, you don't, like, dude, I don't think you are. Like, I don't care, though. I was looking in to see, like, what's going on with these Chinese chainsaws. And He hit me with all this stuff. So now he has had he is now okay. So Randy Evans is the admin or the boss of that Reddit thing where people are talking bad about him. Um, so he's mad about that. He said he's talked to Randy before, and Randy's promised that he won't say nothing bad about him anymore. And then apparently Steve wanted to talk bad about Randy over some apparently 462s. So now Randy, I guess, is maybe getting even with him, but Steve don't care. Randy Evans is now part of the lawsuit. Um, Indiana Doug is like I think the main person being sued. I don't even know. But okay, he's suing everything. He's suing everybody. You're all getting sued. Um, his attorney that he had gave him his money back. You know how he's so. This is an open and shut case. You are getting in trouble. Everyone's going down. He went to China, and he's going to sue these people on behalf of that Chinese um, chainsaw company because he says he's the United States representative of that company. So he went there. He sat down with a younger fella. Did not look like he was the owner or was had the authority to say anything. At best, I think maybe swept the floors. Maybe I'm wrong, but he sat down with some young Chinese guy, and Steve asked him, "Do I have your permission to sue on you guys for you guys?" Because this guy is saying we have sucky chainsaws. Um, I hope to God that there's no way that he could possibly sue somebody, because if he wins any of this, even $1, this is not right. You think Husqvarna should be able to sue you every time you get one of their saws and you don't like it? I would say Steel, but they don't. That would never happen. You wouldn't buy a Steel chainsaw and then not like it afterwards. You're always gonna like it. But I mean, Echo and Husky, if you bought one of their saws and then you realized afterwards that it's inferior to a Steel, that you would be mad. You would maybe talk a little trash. And according to Steve, Echo or Husqvarna could then sue you for affecting their business. Steve says that he's running a business selling replica chainsaws, and that these people saying that his saws aren't the best are affecting his livelihood, and that's why everyone's being sued. So if you've ever said anything about his chainsaws, in my opinion, I think most of them just seem like they suck. That's just my opinion, and I don't really care what Steve says. I think you should be able to say whatever you want, but that doesn't matter though, because I'm not the guy that's going to buy those kind of saws. So there are people out there that want those saws. There are people out there that are going to love those saws. Get her done, dude. Sell them up. Sell as many of them as you can. Do a live video. I don't know. Dude, what you need, veteran, is you just need another channel who does absolutely crazy stuff to talk about. That's what mine has turned into. Legit. My channel has turned into every week we used to sit down and I would teach like I'm something special. I would show like a technique or something, discuss a technique, and do some demo stuff and all kinds of. Oh, check this out! Look what I found yesterday. I told you guys. So that needs to go like right there at all times now. And when I do my demo stuff, we'll use Chainsaw Man. Do you see that? He had a chainsaw for a face. You know how much work I could get? You know how much I could cut so much stuff. Um, if I had a chainsaw face, I bet you I'd do great numbers on YouTube too. I guarantee you, a chainsaw face would kill on YouTube. Um, it's sick, isn't it? Yeah, I guess there's the back picture so you can kind of see what it is looking like. But I guess it's from some weird like Japanese animation kind of stuff. Total anime? Yeah, I don't know. But I passed by it one day and he has an extra chainsaw face. And yeah, because I don't want the one with the tongue out. Like, you put your tongue back in your mouth. That's weird. But yeah, he's got some other faces you can put on him. And he's got, is that a normal arm? I think he's maybe got one normal arm. And then the rest of them are chainsaw arms, which is sick. Um, so yeah, we'll use Chainsaw Man from now on when we do our demo stuff. That'd be sick. But I passed by that. Yeah, isn't that sweet, Dan? I told you guys I had seen that in Walmart. And then I passed by it. And I was like, I'm not spending, I think it was like 15, 16 bucks at the time. I'm like, I'm not wasting 16 bucks on that. No one will buy that. It'll be there. And then I came back like a couple days later and it was gone. I was like, damn. Well, should have bought it. And then the other day I found one. But it was only 12 bucks this time. So I made a good decision waiting. Does he ever tell you where you can buy them? Um, Actually, yeah, Dan, I have his phone number. He he tried to hide his comment, but I guess YouTube wasn't fast enough for when he hit it because he put his phone number down. But he says his phone number all the time. Just asking for his phone. He doesn't do me any good to say. He's got me so blocked, like he can't hear anything from me. So because I've said the nicest stuff and he does not answer me, and I've tried to help him with stuff, and like it's sad. It's like when you like a chick and she doesn't like you back. But I guess it's different. Maybe it'd be like if you made fun of a chick for a long time and told her how ugly she was, and then a little bit later you're like, "You're so beautiful, will you date me?" And then she didn't want to talk to you. It would be more like that. But yeah, I don't like it. He just ignores me. It makes me mad. Looks like something from Fortnite. It probably is, dude. It probably is. There was Fortnite stuff over there by it. So maybe you're right. Yeah, it's called Chainsaw Man. It's awesome. That's awesome. That's so funny. Other people know about it. They just had an anime convention in New York City. That's crazy. Yeah, I don't do anything anime. I don't know anything about it. Just you sold me when you had chainsaws for arms, and then I noticed you had chainsaw face, and I'm like, chainsaw face hits different when you see it in person. I gotta have it. So yeah, he looks like he's maybe rocking some Jordans too. That's pretty sick. But so this Sean Carr guy, apparently, they're in this forum. That's what it is. It's a forum. This forum. I don't know if that's on Reddit or something. I don't know nothing about all this stuff. I just hear Steve complain about it, so then I talk about it. So Sean apparently called Steve a swindler, and like Steve is very upset about that, which I don't understand because dude, it's not like he like made a video that went viral on YouTube. It's in a forum. Like very few people are even seeing it. But he's very, very mad about it. And Sean's now being sued also. Steve showed himself signing an $18,000 check and sending it to his new attorney. Now, I may be wrong. I'm probably wrong. Everything I say is a lie. But I think the old attorney was actually family. So it was like Sutton and Sons or something. And if you look him up, I think his last name had something to do with Sutton, or it was Sutton at some time, or he came from the Sutton family. And he even like maybe kind of let it slip in a video that it was family. Well, when they tell you, I think they may have told him like he doesn't have a case. So they gave him his retainer money back. He just got it back. So he's getting a new attorney and he's looking for co-defendants. So if you would like to be a co-defendant in a real big cool case, all you got to do is just talk about how he has inferior chainsaws, and yeah, you get a free trip to court. So apparently, that's just what I'm hearing. Dingy, I like it. Cool. Pretty much, veteran. I mean, I'm just trying to be honest here. So I don't understand why he said everybody's getting sued 2 years ago, and then just out of the blue now you're really getting sued. But I talked about the attorney returning some money. Oh yeah, he kind of seems like he's a little nervous because someone accused him of committing a federal crime. The federal crime that he's accused of committing is trying to sell 661 parts, which I told you guys in some of the last uh, live feeds that I think it's illegal to sell 661, so that's why he's only selling them as parts kits. So it turns out it is a federal crime for them to be producing and selling 661s. But technically, I don't know if it's a federal crime for him to sell part kits. But I feel like if you're selling the saw as a whole, whether it's in parts or it's put together, that should be illegal. So the problem is everybody jumped the gun and accused him of committing this federal crime before he actually committed a federal crime. I don't think he sold any of the parts kits yet. So everybody that's looking to get one over on him, I'm not looking to get anything on Steve at all. I don't care what he does. I find him very funny, very entertaining. You know, good luck to you sawing your chainsaws. I don't have no problem with it. I don't think it's very ethical, some of the ways he sells his stuff and the way he kind of deals with people, but, you know, that's just my opinion. I think it's just weird. You know, it's like the Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts get away with that stuff because, like, they go buy candy bars and then resell them for a higher price because they're Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts. They're little kids. You buying chainsaws and then turning around and selling them for way more, which that's just weird, man. Um, but you have the right to do it. Just because I think it's weird don't mean anything. So, Brandon, what's going on, brother? Oh, notch catalyst saddle. I do not, Joseph. I do not. Um, is that? I thought maybe I may have just seen a video where somebody had that. I'll think about it. But yeah, he's being accused of the federal crime, and it's over the 661s. I said in the last video, I think the last live feed we did last week, that I think there's something up with the 661 thing because he kept making it very clear that he cannot get you a complete saw, but he can get you the best part kit in the world. The funny part is, he had the gall to tell you you can buy a 660 from him. The 660s I think were like $700. Well, to get a 661 as a part kit was going to cost a couple $100 more. So let's say $1,000. So 900 to 1,000 is what a 661 parts kit, not put together, parts kit would cost. Or you can get a 660 for, and these are not real steels. So we're just using the numbers from steel because the saws look like steels, and we're just using it as like to rank the cc's and size of the saw. So he's putting them on there to make people think that it's steel. I feel like you should put your own numbers on it, but it's a replica 660. He sells those $700 put together. done. But if you get one that's in pieces and not put together, it costs a couple $100 more. That stuff don't make any sense to me. And plus, I feel like that was that company's maybe dirty little way of being like, this is illegal, so we need to make more money, is how it comes off. Because you can't justify a 661 costing a couple $100 more than a brand new 660. In comparison, like $1,600 660, that's like saying you get a 661 that's right next to it, and it costs 2,300. So I don't know about that. I don't think that's right. But I knew something was up. So hopefully, um, hopefully you don't go to jail. But I put here he just keeps explaining why he is not gay. He's not even curious. So yeah, if you want to know more about that, you just got to go watch the video link that I left in the community page in the last post. That's his video. Check it out. Give him some more views. Leave him a comment. Don't say anything mean because he'll block you for the rest of your life. But yeah, I see there's some people of our crew that I see on his channel, and they're cool with him. So I don't know why I can't be cool with him too. The chainsaw side of YouTube was so full of gossip and drama, makes a guy want to run for the hills. Yeah, I understand. Yeah, there's always, I don't know. I think there's just shady characters and silly shit in everything, man. I think some genres or categories are just late to the show. You just haven't they haven't been on there long enough to develop that side of it. I think everything's gonna have the gossip version of it. Everything's gonna have the hater version of it. Like you just it's so new kinda to being anything big that it's just yet to get there. Maybe I'm just way overthinking it. I haven't notched in 10 years. You just dropped the cattle. Oh, right on. Um, Also, Steve is really into oil again. So he tried to tell everybody that you should buy this Schaefer's oil. I don't know why. He just gets fixated on certain things. He just got a box of this Schaefer's grease. So he just likes it. So he's like tells everybody it's the greatest grease in the world because he has a box of it. He's one of those people. If he has it and possesses it, it's the best thing in the world. So I've met those kind of people a lot in life. And some people just listen to him and fall for it, but that's just his personality. He's that guy. You know, he's the guy that would go to Walmart but stand next to a guy wearing a Louis Vuitton shirt and tell him about how better the quality is of his shirt than that. He's that guy, you know. But cool, you got the right to do whatever you want. I need to also say, hey Steve, if you are watching this video, just a heads up. The oil in a chainsaw never goes to the engine, brother. It will never help anything in the engine. The oil in a chainsaw simply is in it to grease the bar, to oil the bar. So it has a little pump, usually a little gear needle pump, to where as it spins around, you throttle, the flywheel, whatever, will catch and spin this little thing, which tells it to pump out a little bit of oil into the bar. So you can put gear grease if you want in your, if you want. I'm not telling you should put, I would just put bar oil. Just enough said. I would just put bar oil. I've used very cheap bar oil all season, just cheap brand bar oil, and I've never had an issue. So it costs $8, or you can go buy a jug of steel that's like 18. You know, I'm a very big steel advocate, but I'm just honest. I use the cheap bar oil. Um, I say if it's very cold where you're at, what I do is usually fill up my oil almost all the way, and then at the end, I take the gas when I'm filling up the gas, and I dump a little gas into the oil. The reason I do that is to dilute that oil down a little bit and thin it out because when it's super cold outside, those pumps have trouble pumping that oil. Until the saw warms up, it'll have a lot of trouble. The gas brake would break it down a little bit, dilute it a little bit, and thin it out a little bit. So that's what I do personally. When it's super cold, I put a little gas into it, and I don't like dump it into my jug of oil. I just when I fill the tank up, I leave a little space, and then I pour a little gas in, put it on, slosh it up, there. So I don't know. He's like telling people to put Lucas oil treatment like in their bar oil. Like I don't know, man. I don't think you should do that. I think it's silly, but you can do whatever you want. I think that's all I got about Steve. I think I'm pretty much done with the news for the week that I seen. I missed a lot of stuff though, so I'll try to be a lot better next week on a variety of like topics. Try not to be so focused on one video. Well, he did put out another video where he basically just stood his ground and was like, the first video was true, and like it's still true. Steve is the guy from Metal and Wood, the Metal and Wood channel. He's the guy. If you go into my community page, click on the video. He sells Chinese chainsaws. But yeah, he's a character. He's hilarious. He does a lot of just very sus stuff, and he's very, very sue happy. So if you just go over there and poke at him a little bit, he'll sue you. So just know that, fair warning, before anybody goes there and tries to watch anything or talk to him. Like he'll sue your shorts off you. That's what he does apparently. Just going off what I see, but Brandon's right. He runs a channel called Metal and Wood, and he is making himself to be the biggest outcast in the tree work industry. Like with trees, chainsaws, all that stuff. He is making himself to be he is the sore thumb. And I don't know why he wants to be it, but he can, I mean, whatever. That's cool. Like it's like if you wanted to play basketball on the basketball team, and your way of doing it is you go tell on the basketball players and get them in trouble so that they couldn't show up for practice that day. And then you're the only one there, and the coach is like, well, I guess you can play in the next game since they weren't here. And then when that game comes around, you're like, why isn't everybody nice to me? Why is everybody being so mean? Dude, because you just like shit on everyone in the process of boosting yourself up. So that's Steve. That's just Steve. That's what he does. I don't much understand it, but whatever. I have a Chinese diesel heater in my shop. I should do a video on it. Yeah. That would be sick. Really? You gotta do one. Start selling them. That's what he does. He just finds products that are already made. It comes off like what he did is he's that Karen that goes into McDonald's and gets food, and then wants all of her money back when she's like, you know what, we ate dinner tonight, plus it didn't cost me nothing because I complained and this and that. He has made them fix some things with these chainsaws, so he has made them better, so we'll see. My pleasure, Eric. Yeah, I do remember John's custom saws. Yeah, I don't understand what happened to him. He just kind of fell off. If you know Iron Horse saws too, apparently the guy that was saying that Steve's a swindler, he also included two other people, which is Harvey, which I think is the Iron Horse, and Fab Akers. And Fab he's a little shyster. Like, he's one of them people that will buddy to this person, but go over and talk. Like, he's a bit of a troll, I think. So he don't hurt my feelings what he does. Like, I could care less, but yeah, he's different. At times he's been over here, but then I seen how he just like glazed the hell out of Steve, and it's all in the purpose of trying to get a free chainsaw or a deal from somebody. I think I don't really know, but yeah, I don't know what happened to him, Joseph. Like, he just kind of fell off, didn't he? I haven't seen anything. So that's the news for the week. Let's I gotta open up Chainsaw Man. What do you say? Let's do this. So this will be our mascot, basically. Why are they gonna make the damn box all different? Oh, okay, that's pretty sick. That's how they should have made all toys. That's so much easier than getting it out of the top. I say that and then I rip it apart trying to get it out. Okay. Whoa, Chainsaw Man does not come with any regular arms. He just comes with 4 chainsaw arms. Okay. Let's see. So... well, here he is. My favorite thing is a chainsaw face. Because I feel like with a chainsaw in my hand, I kind of have chainsaw arms already. But I've never had a chainsaw face. And that is sick. Yeah, that's pretty sick. So, let's see. Here's his face. His chainsaw face. And I don't understand. It's got to be like... it's got the weirdest handle. Why is the handle on the back? Iron Horse bucking deals with, so he can't be a hack. I don't think, Joseph, I don't think there was an issue with that. I think it was more, my understanding is that maybe Harvey took on way too much work than he could handle, and I think maybe he may have got sick too. I have to remember if that may have been part of it too. He may have been sick at the time and was in and out of the hospital, so maybe. At one point, I do know that I think he was behind on chainsaws, and he had a bunch of people's chainsaws, and they were pretty mad about it. I don't know for sure that he was accused of something else. Maybe I think maybe I heard somebody accuse him of using like cheap parts at one point, but recently Steve drove all the way up there to meet Harvey. They put out a bunch of videos with Harvey, and they both loved each other. So Steve apparently left Harvey some chainsaws. So you can, I would hope Harvey is just an honest guy, and if he thinks they suck, he'll tell us they suck. We'll see. So there's one of Chainsaw Man's arms, which I don't really see the purpose. If I was a toy maker, I would have gave I'll show you why. Same thing. There's the other hand, or the other arm. It's in a fist. So The only difference between the actual figure and that is that the hands are more open on the figure. See what I mean? Which is kind of weird. I wish they would have gave two regular arms so you can make him have like he's like one chainsaw arm man instead of always having to have two. Um, but yeah, you could get her done with these things. Like I think Chainsaw Man's sick. This is awesome. I dig it. He's more of a side profile kind of guy. Like he definitely doesn't look as scary if you look at him like this. First of all, I think you should put your tongue back in. Don't do that. That's weird. Um, but he's got a sick tie because he's like he's got the Jordans because he's ready to party, but he's still business up top, which is kind of sick. And I think it like flexes. It's pretty articulate. That's crazy. But yeah, the only difference between these arms and these arms is they're in a fist. What? Who needs that? I need regular arms. What are you doing? Like, send me some regular dang arms. His bar's bent here. That sucks. How do you gotta switch that out? Like, where's the bolts at? Where are you gonna switch out? And how hard is it to like change your or sharpen your chain when it's stuck to your arm the whole time? Especially your face one. That would that may be sick. That would be pretty easy. You could do that. But like I was thinking about trying to sharpen my left hand. I'd figure it out. Um, so you get two more chainsaw arms with fists. I like this head way better because he doesn't have his goofy tongue hanging out of his mouth. I don't like the tongue. I wish it didn't have a tongue. That's weird. So I'm gonna try to let's see. Pop the head off. Oh, yeah, we gotta get rid of that tongue. What is this? Hang on, there's still one more piece. What the heck? The last piece is just a mouth. This little mouth. Sean, I am in Missouri. Yeah, Dad, that's what I'm saying. You realize, like, you could be, like, cutting with your face and stuff? Like, what? Yeah, that would be sick. Apparently, maybe this comes. Oh, okay. Okay, I see what. I'm picking it up now. Now that pops out. That's pretty cool. So now you just have the chainsaw with no face on it, and then you can put his little smiley face where he's just a normal face guy. Yeah, something like that, I think. Yeah. Yeah, that's much better. Yeah, he's much more friendly. It looks more like a chainsaw too. I like it. So we'll put that head on there. Oh shoot! What the heck? I guess it's on. Yeah. Okay. I don't want to break it. Chainsaw Man. Yeah. So I'll have that back here at all times from now on. Had to get it. It was a must. Chainsaw Man. We make him do the splits. Oh, what the? Yeah, that's sick. Oh, I could skate. Maybe kickflip. Almost. Well, we tried. Oh, come on, just stand up, Chainsaw Man. What is your deal? Your feet move? Whoa. Whoa, whose foot moves like that? Check this out. Like his ankle just breaks. Like it bends all the way sideways. So you can, if you're into rolling your ankle, you can really roll your ankle with these. Like you can do the Pee Wee Herman. Where you're just like out with your feet like that. Yeah, I dig it. That's cool. Yeah, so Chainsaw Man is pretty sick. Was hoping possibly the up of Michigan need some work on a couple saws. Oh yeah, I'm not a I'm not good at chainsaw work. My guy Ground Pounder's up in your area, I believe. So if you check out Ground Pounder is his channel, he is I think up maybe that area, and he maybe be able to point you in a direction to help you out. He's one of the moderators in our live feed. He may have had to go, so he may be gone already. But yeah, anytime if you check in the comments section, he's usually and he's a good dude, Sean. Maybe he could help you out. So who is your ground guy now? It is Jake. Jake's my guy. He's just he's very similar to me. He's like not he's kind of a bit antisocial and takes a long time before he'll warm up to you, but he much enjoys like doing things like physical things and very smart guy, family guy. Like I like him a lot. I we're very similar. Like it took a long time before he opened up to me. So he's a really good dude, just in general. So you ever heard of Red Max Saws? No, I actually haven't. No, I haven't. Where are they from? No more Dave. No, every once in a while he actually, I think, yeah, he's actually with my younger brother now. So every once in a while we're together. So and if I ever got in a spot, he's deep down. That's a good dude. He would I think he would drop anything to give me a hand. So like and help me. And I try to do the same for him. We've known each other a very long time, but yeah, I think he may fit a little better with my brother. So the problem is my brother likes to simplify things and keep things very basic because it gets it done, and at times it's not overcomplicating it. Um, and he kind of took a little while to start to get into this advanced way of doing things, but he's getting into it now. And Dave would see I would do things different, and he would go back and like try to tell my brother how to do. And my brother is as good as they get, man. And the basics have done it forever and gotten it done. So you don't have to be super advanced to be super special. So yeah, but Dave's still getting it done. He's still doing his thing. So just not with me. Compounder's busy and his hamburgers. Well, he needs to learn to eat before we start these, like I do. Red Max is old school. Really? I heard Red Max is from Canada. That's cool. I had a blower called an FCO, and other people were telling me it's a really good brand, or not a weed eater. It was an FCO. It was probably the best weed eater I've ever ran in my life, and it was an old weed eater. I bought it from a pawn shop, but it was called FCO, EFCO maybe. I feel like there was maybe there's an L in there somewhere. EFCO. I don't know, something like that. But really good brand. There's off brands that they get it done and are good. Like I've used. We got to make sure Chainsaw Man's still on the screen. I've used Makitas, and before I used Makita, I used Dolmar, Saxon Dolmar, which are such good saws. They are they're runners. Like they were great saws. So um, I believe Dolmar was bought out by Makita, so they make their saws now. But yeah, there's a lot of brands that do make a quality saw. Um, you don't always have to use steel. That's just me. That's just a superstition maybe kind of thing. Like I feel like I'm taking a gamble if I buy anything else. I feel always good about it when I buy steel. Same way with like saying a prayer before I go up a tree. It's just routine, and I don't want to change it. So Red Max was here and gone years ago. Eric Mays is his garage. I gotta check. Huh? It's in my garage. I gotta check. That's cool. Do you remember years ago I was in the live trying to get pointers on climbing? Yeah, yeah, I do. You seem to have gotten it done. That's awesome, man. That's that's really awesome. Like I've okay, I don't. If I'm being honest, I don't know if I would want to be super known. Like I'm very antisocial. I don't want to be someone who demands attention every time they walk into a room. I would rather be on my own, like be off to myself. If I like you, you're in my bubble, like, and you're in my world. But if I don't, I'm okay with it. Like I've had family members that like tell my dad they were offended, and I must be mad at them because I didn't say nothing to them when I seen them in the store. I didn't see you. If I would have seen you, I would have said hi. Like I do the same thing if I lock eyes with a stranger that's staring at me. I say hi. But I'm just not that guy. I'm not starving for conversation. I don't. I would rather get things done and just be quiet about it and not have to conversate every time I need to do something. But yeah, that's just me. You about the steals too, Eric? Right on. Steel is my go-to. Right on, DH. Yeah, they've just never done me wrong, man. And my dad, there's like a couple things when it comes to tree work that will and have always stuck with me, and one of them was you get what you pay for. Those things do a job for you, and they've been nothing but reliable in my entire life. So it's like I have a trust and just a just simply a, a perfect track record with them. Like I've never had one just be a lemon. Like they've always been nothing but amazing for me. They've done everything I've ever asked them to do. So that's it. Like they're, in my opinion, they'll always be the best. That doesn't mean that I'm right. Parts availability is the only trouble I have with little brands. Yeah, I never thought about that. That that would make a lot of sense. Find out how easy Red Max parts are to get will say a lot more about the brand. That's that's smart. See, that's thinking ahead, man. I I think I use that logic and that way of thinking, and I should use it more in my everyday life. But my thinking ahead is usually a couple moves at times. Like, and I think that comes from doing tree work, like if this goes, what are the outcomes? If it hangs up a little bit or slivers, it could catch onto that stub. If it goes this way, it could smack this, and I'll play all those scenarios out in my head. But I don't think too much past that, and that's probably not the best. But you know, what is average house husband? That's that's how you do it, man. That's the way to think ahead and be smart about it. You know, that makes absolute sense. You're 100% right. So the same way Dan K says, I do line clearance as a regular job, and I do a lot of contract climbing and a lot of my own stuff. That's awesome. That's what I would say for most guys that do line clearance and stuff like that. Is I would recommend contracting as a climber to companies and get a taste of doing that aspect of the work because it is very different. But and finding your own stuff to do at times can be a little hard. So getting with a company and contracting for a couple days, or a guy and contracting for a few days, is always, in my opinion, the better way. Like if someone was to ask me, that's what I would say. If you're doing line clearance, do your thing on the weekends. Try to contract out to a couple companies, and you can really get your value and your worth when you aren't desperate to do something. So um, I just would say and recommend to anybody out there that's doing this or trying to climb trees and like make it a life, it's not a long one, and it it doesn't last forever. So however long you would work a different job, cut that and you do about a third, I would say. There's the lucky couple out there that do great and keep going and can do it at an older age. But for the most of us, this is not going to be something you do for forever. So just remember that and know your worth. And I know at times like it sounds better to make a little bit as opposed to make nothing, but you only get to beat this body up for so long till it doesn't work. So the battery powered saws. I actually haven't. Um, I haven't yet. I have the little battery powered GTA 26 from Steel, but other than that, I've used the other small stick head trimmers, and I think I've used a back. Actually, I used a back handle steel one, but I did use Milwaukee. I think it's called Fuel or something. The Milwaukee battery powered saw, the top handle. A a homeowner let me use his. He lived out at a farm, and he said his son bought it for him, and it even had a, I think it even had a clip for the saw lanyard and for your hook, and it was great. I think it was a great saw, and from my understanding, the price range on them is probably at the best of anything too. So I would say Milwaukee saw maybe is one of the best. Is it could be the best. So I'm still got as well, but I take pro stuff only if you're doing professional. Yep. Yeah, Joseph said you can always. I think if you're talking, I think Farm Boss is in there too. Not just professional. I would say any of the Farm Boss stuff is also good to use. Like, I have an old 290 that it it's it weighs as much as a damn cinder block, but man, it's such a good old reliable saw that just cuts. So yeah, take care of your stuff. Buy the best stuff that you can and take care of it because even if you go buy the most expensive chainsaw, if you treat it like shit and don't take care of it, it's not gonna last you long. It just doesn't matter. So That part of contract climate is I've always put monster trees on the ground. The company owner makes 8 to 10 grand and only pay 500, and that sucks. Yeah, yeah, Joe. So I would say find smaller crews, or also see the problem is you could you could find some of those landscape and lawn companies, and every now and then they need a guy, and you just tell them when it comes to the tree work, we split it. Like whatever it is for the day, I want this, you can have that. Like, and maybe try that because without you, those lawn guys can't do the tree work, but with you, they could take care of the other. I mean, there's so many ways you could do it, man. It's just build yourself a good name, push that name out there in your area, and even though it's people are absolutely aggravating and stupid sometimes, never leave without them being satisfied. Never call it quits without them being completely happy. Um, because it only takes one person to goof your name up, and you can spend a lifetime making that name good, and within a day and a couple decisions, you can mess all that up. So, um, just like the average house husband said, he's thinking long term. Always think that long term, especially when it comes to your name, and just make it as good as you can, man. And if you're gonna have a few years where things maybe are a bit tight, but if you build a good enough name in those couple years, things will start to get easier. So stoked to see that things are working out for you, though, Joseph. That that's awesome, man. That's the whole point of me being on here. So if when I see that it actually helped, that definitely puts a smile on my face, makes me feel pretty good. So, guys, as always, thank you. I appreciate you guys sitting here watching this with me. I have a lot of fun content coming up. I wasn't too excited about the last few videos. I was actually kind of bummed on them. I didn't have fun making them all that much, but I have some fun stuff, some good stuff. So stay tuned. If you don't mind subscribing, that would be cool. If you liked it, there's a thumb button. If you didn't like it, there's another thumb button. And yeah, I don't know. Share it. Is there anything else you can do? I don't know. You don't have to do none of it. But yeah, thanks for sitting here. This was Tree Talk episode 33, 4. We're getting close to that year mark. So we did 2 years last time. We almost did a year again. So yeah, it's been fun. I'm sure there'll be more stuff to talk about even next week. Let's see where this visa situation goes with Steve. Hopefully, I'm a bit more prepared for the next one. But you guys were awesome as always. And I appreciate you guys. So, take care. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. And have a safe work week. And let me know about those questions I asked. If you want to see some behind the scenes stuff on what I go through to try to get some of these set up to do them. And also, do you want to see the setup of the videos before the trees get climbed? As I'm putting gear on, why I'm using that stuff, all that stuff. Let me know. Catch you next time.